welcome to the channel. Yes, welcome to the channel. I'm Jeremy Stevens. This channel is gonna be all about entrepreneurship, finance, real estate, marriage. No, that's too many topics. More so all about money. I'm an entrepreneur here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I've been very excited to get this started. I have over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and so it's like, why am I just on one platform? Why don't I share my knowledge with the masses? So here I am. Welcome to my channel. Be sure to like and subscribe because as you all know, that's the only way we grow. So sit back, enjoy the content, and I'm excited to bring it to you weekly, daily, whatever the frequency is. I'm here for the people. Thank you guys for tuning in, and let's get right into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you see by the title of today's video, how I created a 7-figure healthcare housing business. So I've been doing this for about a year and a half now, and I started off with just one rental property, and I've quickly scaled to about 35 in a year and a half span. It's been completely life-changing, and I'm excited to tell you all about how I got there. So there are two main techniques that I use within this 35 unit portfolio. One of them being where I buy the home, do a little bit of renovation, and then put a tenant in there. And then the majority of my portfolio consists of a technique that we call rental arbitrage, which is what we'll dive into today. So before we go any further, I need to exactly explain what rental arbitrage is. Rental arbitrage is where you go into an apartment complex, for example, and I actually do not own this property. I lease this out just like any other tenant. I pay my rent on the first of the month just like everybody else, but I call it a corporate lease or a corporate rental because that tells the building that I'm going to be using this for business. And then after I sign the dotted line with the building, I then furnish the building and create the profits. I do want to put a little bit of a disclaimer out there. This is not allowed everywhere. You need to do your due diligence. You need to go around to different complexes. Make sure that they allow corporate rentals within their communities. So my bread and butter is definitely the healthcare sector, the healthcare professionals that are traveling to my market, and that is what has allowed me to scale to 7 figures within a year and a half span. So I'm sure you're wondering, how the heck do I find these tenants? Well, I find these tenants, these tenants find me on a platform called Furnish Finder, that being the #1 platform that they find me on. This is where it's almost like a middleman where the tenants can actually reach out to the host, meaning myself. They can look at the property photos, they can see the pricing, and then they can actually reach out to me directly just by my cell phone number, and then we can create a contract, create an agreement, and they'll move in on their desired move-in date. So these tenants are typically staying anywhere from 3 to 4 months. The great thing about that is they'll extend sometimes as well, especially if they're loving the hospital that they're at and also the apartment that you provided. And kind of the beauty of rental arbitrage is it doesn't necessarily have to be an apartment. That's just what I've went with. I typically go for 1 bed and 1 bathroom. They don't need much. They just need a place to sleep, a clean place. My places do have cool amenities like a fitness center and a pool as well, but it definitely doesn't need that. These are pretty low maintenance tenants, which is why I love it. So the cost to furnish an entire unit can vary obviously on size. Is this an apartment? Is this a house? Is it a 3-bedroom? Is it just a 1-bedroom like what I have? Cost-wise, we're looking at in between $2,000 to $3,000 per unit. So I'm buying these furnishings on Wayfair or Amazon, sometimes Walmart as well. Obviously, I'm looking for the most durable, for the most bang for my buck. So how do I keep track of all of these tenants? As mentioned, we have 35 of them. So I have a giant spreadsheet actually that my wife helps me with. It keeps me very, very organized. Due to the number that I have, I constantly have move-ins and move-outs and move-ins and upcoming vacancies, etc. So I have to stay extremely organized so that I keep track of everything. What amenities are these tenants actually looking for on their long 3 to 4 month stays? And the beauty is that they don't need much. They're looking for standard queen size bed, a nice bathroom that they can take a shower in and clean up in, brush their teeth in. Obviously they're looking for Wi-Fi and a TV. But as far as amenities go, they're not looking for much, which is why they're the best kind of tenants. They pay on time and they're clean. But if we want to go further, to separate yourself on this platform, let's talk about Furnish Finder, for example, that since we've already talked about that. my listing is gonna be separated from the rest who don't have amenities like a pool or a 24-hour fitness center or state-of-the-art common areas that have a pool table, etc. I want to separate myself on the platform, so it's good that I do have these amenities. But on the flip side of that, you don't need these amenities to attract travelers. Of course, we've already talked about the positives of rental arbitrage and renting out to these traveling healthcare professionals, but the positive also, of course, comes negative as well, and we have to talk about that. So the number one downside to rental arbitrage is definitely that I don't own the place, meaning I don't make the rules there outside of what goes on in my own apartment door. So what comes with that? Maintenance issues. So let's say a dishwasher goes out or a toilet is backed up and it needs fixed. The maintenance crew is the people who are responsible for that task. If it was up to me, I would act on it within 24 hours, but because I'm relying on the building's maintenance crew, it doesn't always happen in the timely manner that I would like it to, so that is definitely a downside. And of course, going back to that I don't own the place, I'm not gaining equity, meaning in real estate, housing always appreciates. So let's say I buy something for $100,000. In 10 years, let's hope we can sell it for $200,000. Well, with this apartment, that's not the case. I have no equity in it, but I do gain profits on a monthly basis. But from an equity standpoint, it's not like I own it. It's not like I bought it. I can't go sell it for a profit. So that is definitely a downside. Now, after weighing out the pros and cons of the rental arbitrage technique and renting out to travel healthcare professionals, the pros definitely outweigh the cons because ultimately I am seeing a significant profit on a monthly basis that is guaranteed because these are the best kind of tenants. They're paying on time, they're clean, and they treat the place as if it's their own. So the pros definitely outweigh the cons. So finally to the juicy part, how much do I actually make per month per unit? So it does vary because since I am kind of diversified amongst different buildings, and then I have some properties that I own as well that I have these tenants in. So on the low end, we're looking at about $700. On an extreme high end, just by month to month, we're looking at $1,000. So if you spread that across 35 units, that's what I'm making just from this portion of my real estate portfolio. So if I was starting out in real estate today and I was looking to get into the housing game, I do think that this is a great route to kind of get your feet wet. You get an idea for dealing with tenants. You get an idea for dealing with maintenance issues. Both of these things are very, very good to learn and kind of get a grasp on as you dive deeper into real estate. And that wraps up today's video. That's how you get out of the rat race and level up.